jungle it. Hello, Facebook people. Nearly forgot, but you're there. And the YouTube and the Periscope people are over there. So that's nice, isn't it? Everyone's happy. Everyone's happy, which is what we want. So, where are we? What are we doing? Maybe I should just get rid of that. I could get rid of that. Can I get rid of that? How can I hide that? It's not working, is it? I need to work on this chat box thing. Yeah. Craig Dolman's in. He's in the Facebook. Let's get rid of the chat window. Can I hide it, or can I make it disappear? Oh, that's it. It's gone. Where are we? Tom Final Shack's in. That was me just mucking around. I was mucking around. Munton's in. Daily Covers is in. Rollison's in. McKenna's in. Scaramondus is in. Roger's in. John Fitzgerald's in. Costnet's in. Yeah. How was the sound on the Goldbow records? They sounded golden. They sounded wonderful. No, it's not bad. I mean, the thing about the coloured vinyl these days is they're a lot better than you realise, you know. So, yeah, I thoroughly recommend them. They're golden. Roger says, can you do a little rig rundown of your synths and muddlers, please? No. I don't know what that is. What is a personal black power window? I have no idea. Thoughts on Billy Joel? How does that ugly fucker get so many women? You know, what's that about? Oh, wait a minute, it's because he's a multi-millionaire, isn't it? There you go. You know, whenever you see like an ugly guy with a really beautiful woman, there's two thoughts. You think, really big cock, or he's a millionaire. Maybe for Billy Joel, it's both. You always wonder how he reached those notes at the other end of the keyboard. Well, it wasn't his hand. It wasn't his hand. That's the tone of the evening. Good evening, Craig. That is the tone of the evening. Delightfully smutty, very smutty. Favourite is Zeppelin's song "Over the Hills and Far Away." Have I listened to Big Finish audio? No, because I've got better things to do with my life. John Jones is at the left already. Cyber TARDIS in. Renee Westermoreland's in. Have I heard of you, Zeb? No, I haven't. Canadian band? No way. Henk Ten Holton says, hello Darren, latest news free of cancer. Oh, that's very good news. Henk was, it was you that posted, I'm very bad with names. It was you who posted your picture from your hospital bed the other day. Well, that's good news. Again, we trundle towards a time in our evolution where we can get rid of all cancer, because that's the next thing, isn't it? Oh, and religion. If we get rid of religion and cancer, I'd be a happy man. How's the dog? She's asleep on the sofa, stretched out. We went out in the rain. It's pissing it down here, so a bit of a damp dog. But there you go. That's what happens. I must admit, since we've got her, it's the first. Oh, the missus is rousing herself from the slumber and gave me a little wave there. You comfortable? You look a bit slouched. Yeah, you've not got a stiff shoulder.
No, not too bad.
Oh, okay. So yeah, dog's doing good. Oh God, Tom's going to listen to Hot Space. That's not a good idea. That's never a good idea. What's my thoughts on Phil Collins' health? He's old. He's a drummer. It's a punishing life being a drummer. Why do you think Bill Bruford retired? What's my favourite bird of prey? Good. Peregrine falcon, I think. There you go. Do I think Liam's album will be good? It'll be good in the sense it will sound like Oasis, I'd imagine. Dear. With the Oasis reviews you did, have you listened to other Oasis albums? No, because there's really no need. I'm just taking my shoes and socks off. There you go. Because I just realised I haven't taken my shoes and socks off. Oh, that's better. Oh, my feet. Actually, it's trainers and socks. What's my favourite Kraftwerk album? Probably Trans Europe Express. Trans Europe Express. Again, I was talking to the missus about it because we watched the Blu-ray the other night, last night, and they do a bit of Trans Europe Express on the Blu-ray, and I said it reminded me of a time, and I'm not sure if I was playing the album or whether it was on the radio. It could have been on the radio, but I was in the missus's old car, the old Vauxhall Nova. That's how long ago it was, and she'd gone to the Fortune House Chinese to get some Chinese, but there was a big queue, and she was gone for about, I don't know, 20 minutes. It was a long time, and during that period, Trans Europe Express was on the radio, and it was raining in the car, so I was sitting in the dark with the rain spattering on the window, listening to that, and it was very atmospheric. Yeah, I was relating that story to the missus last night. That's it. That's all I've got, I'm afraid. Where are we? I've heard of the band Tin Spirits. No. Well, what next after Led Zeppelin? Oh, you'll just have to tune in and find out. Oh, I'm just going to keep you all in suspense, like I do, because I'm a cheeky monkey. C-Ram says, did I catch Radiohead on Friday? What did I think? Yeah, it was alright. It was okay. I saw all the headliners. My favourite performance of the Glastonbury was Lorde. I thought she did a remarkable job. Used the stage in a way that's very unusual, very theatrical performance. And I really dug it. I thought it was really good. You know, it's very hard to do like a pop set, but it was really engaging. I thought she really captured the spirit of her own music on the stage there. So, you know, saw Future Islands again. They're always good fun. You know, bits and bobs here and there. So yeah, I mean, it was all right. Radiohead do what Radiohead do. You know, there's no complaints from me. Foo Fighters set was good fun though. It felt like a really long gig. It was like I did feel a bit fatigued by it after a while, because some of their stuff is a bit samey. You know, I know it's true, but they're good sports and they did Queen, so that's got to be a good thing. Hello, more Facebook people. Ooh, some people are checking in and out. So no, it was good fun, and I thought Ed Sheeran was really good as well. I know, going up on that stage all on his own, doing what he does, and everyone moaning about it subsequently because he uses a looper. I use loopers too, so I'm with Ed. You know, I think he did a good job. It's very hard to pull that off, but you know, but hey, everyone's got to slag someone off, I suppose. What is next on the Beatles vinyl collection? I don't know, Tom. I don't know. I'd have to go and look at the map. There's a big map thing that tells you what the order is. But I want it to be a surprise. I like surprise. Have a nice surprise. So you'd have to tune in. Harrison Productions is in. Cyrus is in. Favourite album of all time, Night Song. That's Fatty Ali Khan and Michael Brook. Sam Perry said, have you seen the Pink Floyd exhibition in London? I did have a ticket for the first Monday, but I wasn't very well. I had a very, very bad cold and I was in a terrible state. I also had Steve Hackett's ticket that week, which I sold on because I just knew I couldn't attend because I was not very well. So, yes and no. I don't know. I mean, I might try and... I don't know if the missus has got any time off. We might try and book again. I don't know. I don't know. Did I watch Black Glastonbury and thoughts on it? I've just kind of covered that. It was all right. Nick asked if Barry Gibbs' voice sounded weird. No, it always sounded like that. It's because he hasn't got his brothers beside him doing the harmonies. Sounds a bit odd on its own, you see. Oh, Pitch Skull Black. Should we just block you? Because you're just going to be an arsehole. Have I ever seen Pink Floyd? No. Favourite Frippin' album? Evening Star. We've done it, Dinosaur. We've done it. We've already told you. How could I improve Hot Space? By not making it. Roger asks if the new Nintendo Classic will be successful. Fucking hope so. Now I've ordered one. No, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, when the NES one came out last year, I immediately said, please, can we have the Super Nintendo version of it? And so it's arrived, and it's got a good collection of games on it, you know, from that period. 2 controllers, because there's quite a few 2-player games like Street Fighter on it. So, yeah, it should be good fun. Hi, Nishi-san, in Facebook. My good friend Nishi-san from Japan. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it because the Super Nintendo has a place in my heart. It was a golden age of gaming, and it was probably the greatest console of its kind. Yeah, it was the greatest console of all. God damn it! So there you go. So yeah, it's going to be great fun. I'm glad you enjoyed my story about Treasure Express. I thought it was a bit boring, really. Me listening to it in a car in the dark, watching the rain on the window. But it's very atmospheric. I do suggest you try it. It really works really well together. Really works well. But it must have been on the radio because I don't think I had it on CD back then because it was a long, long, long time ago. Maybe I did have it on CD. I can't remember. But you know, they used to play weird stuff on the radio back in the day. It was probably Radio 2 or something. Renee says, I finally decided and sold the cool Tactile. Want something smaller with MIDI. Think about Arturia Keylab. Do I know about the Arturia Keylab? No, I don't. I'm not good with things with MIDI because I'm a guitarist. See, I've got one of these now. You'll just have to guess what it is. Oh, I wonder what it is. I've got one of these because I sold all my gear and I just got one of these instead. I've gone back to like a workstation thing because, you know, synthesizers are great, but you just spend forever just fucking around making noises, making bloopy noises, and not making any actual music. Well, that's what I did anyway. So I thought, well, go back to a workstation like my old Korg, because I miss my old Korg Triton LE, but I had to get rid of it because I don't know. Why did I get rid of it? I should have kept it. I think it's because it was just, I don't know. The keyboard felt a bit odd. I thought the keyboard felt a bit, the keys felt a bit sticky, and oh yeah, that was it. There was no USB in that, so it was a real pain to connect to anything. But I should have kept it though. Should have kept it. Have I seen the Lego Batman movie? No, I haven't. Though maybe when the kids are on holiday in the summer, I might rent it off of iTunes or something. Floyd's in. A most exciting David Gilmour song. I don't think there is one, is there? Dinosaurs getting blocked. I'll put him in a timeout for a minute because I've already answered the question. Thoughts on Nile Rodgers and Chic performance? Well, again, it was good. I thought it's the top billing. I don't know. It was a good party atmosphere. It's the same with like Barry Gibb. You know, it was good. You know, but I don't know. Maybe they were just wrong place in the bill. I think they should have been playing in the dark. You know what I mean? Were they playing in the dark or were they playing in the afternoon? I can't remember now. I can't remember Sunday. It was so long ago. Am I a fan of REM? In small doses. Evening, Dr. Ooby-Doo. Favourite potato chip? You mean crisp, sir? Crisp. Salt and vinegar. Golden Wonder salt and vinegar. The stuff that melts the roof of your mouth. That kind of stuff. Garrett Munter goes, what happened to some of the Oldfield stuff? I don't know, Garrett. What happened to some of the Oldfield stuff? You tell me. Have I tried the Boss GT1? No, I haven't. Because I've got what I want and that's it. That's it. I'm done. I don't need any more gear. Sean Coyne's in. I'm all right, thanks. Cheers, thanks for asking. Am I going to buy the Queen in 3D book? No, too expensive. Unless I can get a copy for 20 quid. I might, maybe if there's a second-hand copy going around, or Queen Monopoly. Maybe, I don't know. It might be a Christmas, something on the Christmas list that we can all share, but I don't really want it. Do I like Julian Lennon's music? So water goes in my eyes. I think that's the one, isn't it? That's about it, really. Have I listened to the Radiohead album? Yes, I have. Yes, I have. It's very good. It's OK Computer with some with all the B-sides, which I had, because I had all the CD singles back in the day, and 3 new songs. So I know it pretty well already. It's only the 3 new songs that I'm not familiar with, and they're pretty good anyway, because they released them in videos before the fucking album came out. So it was only one song I hadn't heard, because they do that, don't they, bands? They release stuff before it comes out, just to toy with you. Favourite Queen lyric: "Fat bottom girls make the rocking world go round." Yeah, I mean, Nile Rodgers he's one of the greats, isn't he? One of the greats. Rapper's Delight. Dan Paddock says, "Am I working on another album?" No, I'm not doing any more music. And when will it be released? Never, because I'm not doing any more music. Scaro Mondas wants to know, have I ever attended a Doctor Who convention or a Comic-Con type event? Why would I want to do that? Favourite guitar solo? The one that goes... That one. I really like that one. Doug Rollinson says, "I see all the guitars in the background. It's all an illusion. This is all green screen. Look, see? Just see how my hand went straight through that. Look, straight through. It's all green screen." Have I ever played in a band? No, never, no. No, I haven't, no. Oh, Thomas Ruffley's in, and he's given me $10 because he's got a super chat. That's very kind of you, Tom. You didn't have to do that. I can call you Tom. Now you're giving me money. Now we're like pals. Yeah. You didn't have to do that, but it's very kind of you anyway. Yeah, there's this thing, you tightwads, that you can give me money. Please give me your lovely money. Called Super Chat. And Tom has just donated $10. And he's got the floor. He can ask me a question. Come on, Tom. Ask me a question and I have to answer it. Go on, give me a hot burning one. Yeah. Paul G saw Kraftwerk in Sheffield, and they were amazing. I'm sure they were. I've never really felt the urge to see them, though. Mrs. asked me, would you ever see them live? And I thought about it. I thought, well, they're a bit static, you know. It's not like they dance around or do anything. And so I said, well, not really. No. That's why this catalogue 3D thing's quite interesting, because it's all live, but it sounds, a bit familiar. It's not, obviously, it's not exactly the same as the original albums, but it's very clean recordings. Very clean, very clean. Naz Nomad, he's the man that gets all the cheap records. Who I hate. I hate you getting all the cheap records in your bloody Canada. Over here, everything's eBay prices, but then you know that because you've been to London recently, so you know I'm talking the truth. I'm only joshing. I think you're very good stuff. I like it when you meander. Do the meandering because it really annoys everyone else. But I like it when you tell your stories. Stories are good. Where do you reckon Genesis or record label go with future releases? Archival live albums? Don't think the label will cash in sooner than later. What would you like to say? Well, I mean, years and years and years and years ago. I mean, I think this was before those box sets came out. So that would have been 2007-ish. It was after they wound up, Was it? Might have even been before that reunion thing. But there was talk of them releasing live stuff. I mean, Tony Banks was very keen on opening up the archive and doing like a series of archival live releases, and but nothing came of it. He said I read this interview or he said somewhere, it might have been an online chat or something, that was something they were really interested to pursue. And I think again they was looking at what King Crimson were doing at the time with their collectors club, and I think they wanted to do a similar thing, but nothing happened, and that's a shame. Again, I think it's pretty difficult. It's going to be like the diehards that's going to go for that. Again, I mean, don't get me wrong, I like Genesis, but would I want a big collection of their live material? Choice cuts, maybe, you know, some really good choice, you know. I mean, again, I'm more interested in like really good Gabriel era stuff, or that Wyndham Wuthering period. That's kind of where I'm interested in, you know. So that was something that was mooted, but it never really came to pass, which is a great shame, really. But who knows? There could be a reunion. They could wheel out Mr. Collins, you know, so he can do, you know, Silver Rainbow one more time. Yes, but good question. Good question. Nick Claxwell says, "Don't try suicide." Oh, that's a good one. I like that one. Don't try suicide, baby. Yeah, it stinks. It's a stinker. It's a stinker. Do I like folk rock? I don't know. What is folk rock? What, you mean like Jethro Tull? Steel Eye Span? Oh no, not All Around My Hat. Ken Hancock's in. He sure is. Did I ever go to the Glastonbury Festival? Never gonna happen. Hey, missus, would I ever go to the Glastonbury Festival? No. Would you ever go to the Glastonbury Festival? No. Never gonna happen. No. No, we're too old for that. Too old for that nonsense. Weirdest thing you've ever bought? I can. Where is it? I think I've got it here. It's the fabulous Guitar Triller. Here it is, everyone. There's the face. There you go. It's basically a piece of plastic that you hit your guitar with. Absolute piece of shit. But it seemed like a good idea at the time. You know, I've done lots of stuff like that. I'm on a list for another, like a. No, I won't tell you because it'll be a surprise. But I'm on a list for one of these things, and you know, it's a surprise. Shh, don't tell anyone. What's my guilty pleasure Doctor Who episode? Love and Monsters. Do I like Tom Waits? Not really. What do I do if I'm musically stuck? Musically stuck. I'm trying to imagine what is musically stuck. Just improvise. Just improvise. Set the looper going and play and see what comes from that. You know, or just another way is to go to an old idea or something that you like playing and just goof around with that until you feel a bit easier. But I don't tend to get stuck. I just don't do stuff, and then I do stuff. Yeah. That's how it works. And it's good to not do stuff for a while, because then when you go back to doing stuff, you feel a bit more fresh, do you know? So, do stuff, and no do stuff. Ultras now wants a Genesis review. Well, good luck with that. My favourite kids programmes, Tiz Was, Grange Hill, Swap Shop, all that stuff, all those Saturday morning shows. Harold Lloyd, you know, when they used to do all the black and white stuff, Laurel and Hardy. Yeah, we used to get all sorts of stuff back in the day. But yeah, those were the things. Those were the things I liked. But no, I was explaining to the kid because nowadays kids have multiple channels to watch and things that they can recall on Netflix. They can watch anything, and you explain to them, well, we only had like 2 channels and it was only on for like an hour and a bit, and if you missed anything, then you'd never see it again. So it was kind of religious to sit down and catch up with Grange Hill because you'd never see that episode again because didn't have a VCR and there was no catch up and repeats were few and far between. So it was a different culture, and it also made like TV really important. And I think like things like VCR and iPlayer have kind of lessened the importance of the cultural relevance of television, because you can watch whatever you want whenever you want, rather than it being a live thing, a shared live experience that you can talk about the next day. Now people say, have you seen Better Call Saul? And people go, I've binge watched it at the weekend. So you can't really talk about episodes or plot points unless you know. It's all everything's modern life is rubbish. It's rubbish. It is. It's much better when you only have 3 channels. Favourite song on Radio Chaos. Oh God, the first one, Radio Waves. That one. Ever watched the Eagles? Yeah, that documentary about the Eagles is good. It's a 2-parter and it goes on forever and it's fascinating. I love stuff like that. I watch documentaries about bands I don't even like because I find them fascinating. That one about what's his name? Oh, the guy who played the Joker, Jared Leto. His band and how they got into trouble with the music biz is absolutely fascinating. You might not like their music, but it gives you a great insight into just how fucked up the music biz is, and how if you've got a successful band, they will fuck you up big time. So it's a good one. I actually recommended it. I did a review of it because I thought it was a fascinating documentary. But I do like documentaries. Craig Dolman says, have you any plans on leaving London in the future? Well, I don't live in London, so I've already left. I left London in 1999. I live on the outskirts. I live in Leafy Loughton, which is sort of still on the Central Line and within the M25. So, you know, but we don't have any say on the mayor or London or anything. So even though whatever the mayor says regarding transport affects us, we don't have any say in it. It's a fair system. It really is a fair system. Favourite music magazine of all time? I missed the word. Well, I was a big Q fan for a time. I used to buy Q a lot, but the magazine I used to buy, I stopped actually having the digital edition because I just didn't have time to read it. But I like Sound on Sound magazine because it taught me a lot about mixing and music equipment and that. But it was only this year that I stopped my digital sub because I just wasn't getting around to reading it because I'm just knackered, you know. So it's terrible getting old. You just don't have any energy. But no, yeah, I don't think I ever read the word. Was that the one that mixed? Was that the one that mixed film reviews and there was one that mixed film and music? You know, that was it. Am I going to sell any pieces of gear? Not if I can help it. I'm selling CDs and shit. But I try and hold on to the gear unless I know the gear has come to the end. I've already sold off synths and stuff, but I'm not planning on selling anything else just yet. So no. Clive Python says I went to Comic Con and it was the worst thing ever I can imagine. Tom's final chat says super chat. Worst Genesis song of the night, Silver Rainbow. Who done it is fucking genius. So don't you say it, Joe. Don't you say it. What would be my least favourite Kraftwerk album? Oh, God. Probably the later stuff. You know, it gets a bit, you know. I tend to like the kind of that classic, the first few, you know, it's the first few albums and then my interest kind of wanes a bit. You know, of course, if I did a music go-round series on Kraftwerk, we could find out, couldn't we? So maybe I should stop talking right now. Thoughts on Alex Jones? Alex Jones from the One Show, Welsh Bird from the One Show. Yeah, she's all right, I suppose. What are my thoughts on Joshua Tree? I don't know. It's all right, I suppose. It's when you two totally embraced Americana. At the time, I thought it was a disgusting record because it was just so, you know. I mean, to put it into some kind of cultural perspective, that when the Pet Shop Boys did their cover of The Streets Have No Name, that kind of, because the Pet Shop Boys hated U2, and I was with the Pet Shop Boys on that. You know, it's only when U2 kind of embraced Eno again and did, was it Zooropa and all those ones, Acton Baby, Zooropa, and to a lesser extent Pop. that I started kind of getting back into again, because it's good when they do the weird shit, you know. But Joshua Tree, yeah, I like bits of it, but it's not something I choose to. Again, it's an Irish band pretending to be American, and I just find that utterly preposterous. So there you go. Where are we? Have I read an interview of John McCaughlin being interviewed by Robert Fripp? Possibly. How was my day? Very much like every other day. Who Done It is a brilliant song. Exactly. Better than Duke. Absolutely, Matt PF. We are on the Matty PF. We're actually on the same page there. Yeah, material of Bruford. Bruford is you hear Bruford play against Collins, and you hear that Bruford is a superior drummer. My favourite Zappa album is that one, the one that I like. You remember. Oh no, jazz fusion. The word fusion should never be put after anything. Jazz fusion, Thai fusion, Italian fusion. It's a bad word. It should be banned, fusion. That's without talking about, fusion power. Oh, dangerous stuff. Derek Smalls, indeed. He's got a new album coming out, hasn't he? He's touring. What's the best song off of Topographic Oceans? It's the first and the fourth one. Thoughts on the band Sparks? Absolutely love them. Ultra Snail's going to bed. Good night. Do I have Cobalt Blue live at the Aquarium? Of course I do. Wait there, Garrett. Wait there. Oi, oi, oi. Because I have to be a complete bastard. Where is it? Is it there? Is it you? Here we go. Yeah, because 4AD and their infinite wisdom repackaged it into this, he said. Let me pull my window up. There it is. So you got 2 for the price of 1. And there you go. See, isn't that good? Whee! Don't need it because I've got the individual releases, but I had to be a completist bastard, didn't I? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Nicholas Moyer, he got my Fly From Your Collector's box. Good, because I kept the vinyl. You can have the box. It was just gathering dust on the shelf, and I was playing the vinyl. I thought somebody could really use this box and really enjoy it, whereas I wasn't enjoying it because I had the vinyl in my record stand. So I thought, why am I keeping this box? I'm not going to wear the T-shirt. I'm not going to use the sticker. So Nicholas has found a good home for it. What's my favourite M83 album? That one, was it Hurry Up, We're Dreaming, or whatever it's called. That one. Of the 80s trilogy, is Beat your favourite KC album? No, it's Discipline. The other 2 albums are utterly pointless. Paul G says, I saw Hofner Bass Series 1. 50 quid. Do you reckon it's worth getting? Yeah, why not? Get 2. 3 channels. Joe Margarito wants to know if I had a dark phase. What, like listen to Van de Graaff Generator? Yeah, absolutely. Oh dear. Yeah, well, the production of Sex Pistols, Nevermind the Box, is meant to be tinny. It's meant to be abrasive and harsh. 'Tis the nature of the music, dear sir. It's not meant to sound round. It's meant to be, it's meant to rip your skin. I've seen that documentary, George McKenna, about Rush. I've seen it. Oh man. Oh dear. There you go. Thoughts on Blockbuster Video? Wouldn't know. Never went there. Do I like the mix? Well, you have to find out, won't you? Best documentary? I don't know. What's a good price to spend on a record player? As much as you can afford. Again, it's like any piece of equipment. Always, whatever your budget is, you know, go to that. If you've got £100 to spend £100. If you've got £200 to spend £200. But don't buy something that you can't afford. You always keep within your budget, because again, you can get some good, budget record players now. That, you know, like there's Audio Technica. Their budget one, the LP60, is a good starting point. But yeah, just keep within your budget, really, and don't worry about the fancy high end stuff. It's just, you know, that's great if you've got the money and, you know, in your high roller, and you've got a very small penis. That's fine, because but if you've got a really big schlong, get a really cheap record player. You've got nothing to prove. There you go. Do you think your relative popularity... Oh, I'm so fucking popular, Naz. Has painted yourself into a corner in the sense you feel the need to buy stuff to have content? I'll admit I've picked up stuff for that purpose. That is a deep, deep question. Yes. Because people say to me, oh, I miss when you do unboxings and things like that. But I'm trying not to go... Oh, it's tricky. You know, because what I could do is I could... Whenever there's a big release, like the Beatles box set, is I could pick it up, do it, sell it on at a loss, and then I've got content, and I'm just churning stuff over. But then, you know, I don't know. I mean, there's a part of me just thinks I should just do what I enjoy. It was different. It was different when I first started, because I had a little bit more cash on the hip to get the old box set now and again, and also the box set seemed a bit cheaper. They were, they weren't as expensive as they are now. Now we've got these crazy box sets from Pink Floyd and Steve Hillage and people like that, where it's like, let's go and splash £200 and £400 on a box set. So, yeah, I mean, there's things I'd like to cover, and there's things that I stay away from. It's very easy to get into that cycle of just picking stuff up just to do things. I mean, it's like this Craftwork thing. The press guy at Atlantic emailed me on Friday and said, see you did a great unboxing with the catalogue CD box set. That was years ago. And he said, would you like to cover this? And I said, would I? Thanks for thinking of me. And so he sent the stuff to me, and it's good. I mean, I've approached other people, but I don't, because I'm a bit contentious. Maybe I don't think they want to particularly work with me. And I like to be a free agent anyway. But if someone's going to be kind enough to send me stuff, then that's cool. I'll do that, and it gives me something to talk about. There's also I'm actually interested in the content. But yeah, I mean, it is a fine line between like going overboard and being obsessive about this, that, and the other. Because I think there's madness. You could end up like going crazy. And I don't have access to the great thrift shops and the outlets that you have. If I did, then my channel would be very much more, that. I'd like to do more like things like that, but I can't really do it. So so that's a good question. But you see, I think I've always got content, because I don't necessarily need to physically have the item in my hand to talk about it. I mean, I've got crap loads of albums that I've digitally purchased, and that's without the CDs on the shelf behind me. So there's always something to talk about. But yeah, you have to be careful. You have to be careful, because I do think there are YouTubers, bigger YouTubers, that cover everything, and you just think, are you really into that, or are you just doing it for the hits and that? I'll be honest. I'm telling you, I'm doing the Led Zeppelin reviews for the hits. It's because you didn't fucking watch the nice reviews. It's your fault. You should have watched the fucking nice reviews. I spent a lot of time and energy picking up those records and listening to them for you not to go and listen to those reviews. So now you get Led Zeppelin instead. and more popular bands. You know, next week it's Madonna. I'm doing Madonna next week. You're going to love it. It's going to be great. But a very good question. Very, very good question. But I don't think I've painted myself into a corner. But I think you could be in danger of doing that if you become a little bit obsessive, especially with the amount of content and, you know, box sets that have come out. I was thinking of going that way, but I thought, man, you know, I don't have I don't have the support to be that free with my money. You know, I'm already, you know, I'm already in the shit. I don't need to end up further in the shit. So, yeah, good point, good question. Thank you for that. It's got me thinking. Where are we? Where are we? Me and Virgin is pretty bad. Never, never. It's a great song. Best BBC music show. Old Grey Whistle Test, I would imagine. Well, the When in Rome documentary, now if you watch it, it all kind of makes sense because you can see. I mean, when they did those concerts, I said to the missus, Phil Collins doesn't look like he's having a good time. He looked like he was in pain back then, and I think, you know, I think I was right. But yeah, it is a study in misery, isn't it? Really. Yeah, the stall part. The stall part in the When in Rome doc, you begin to think that, hey, Phil Collins is a bit of a see you next Tuesday, isn't he? You know, he doesn't come across as a nice fellow, and he becomes obsessive about stalls and about the right tone. It's like, well, just use a fucking drum. It'd be a lot easier. You can tune the bloody thing. What's the best Bonzo album? Gorilla's good fun to start with. My favourite's probably Keynsham. You know, they're all good, but pick up a compilation because the compilations are good as well. What's my favourite part of the early years box set? Probably the Syd Barrett stuff at the beginning, maybe. I don't know. Thomas Roughly is going home. Okay, well, thanks, Thomas. And again, thanks for the $10 donation. That was very kind of you. You didn't have to do it, but you know, very kind. The Facebook people, they did lightweight. It's only got 2 people watching. Best start to a Genesis collection, Trespass, and move on forward from there. What's my favourite SACD or DVD album? Well, it'll be the Genesis ones that are on SACD, DVD. Those ones, The Lamb, especially so. I spoke about it before. Love the way they put the slides to the music, so it feels like you're actually at the show. Absolutely fantastic. Paul Wasley's off as well. Thoughts on the band Europe? The final countdown. Who didn't fancy Joey Tempest, and then you realise, wait a minute, that's a dude. Favourite 70s record producer? Brian Eno. Do I like the Stranglers? Absolutely. Gary says, do you remember when somebody a few years back made a licence plate saying prog on it for you? I remember they sent me a picture, I think it was. Yes, I do. I've probably got it somewhere in my archive. Do I listen to much classical music? Nope. Favourite film director? Russ Meyer. There you go. Oh no, we're not doing Andors, I'm afraid. Paul G says, what happened to the coffee time videos? Kept me going at work when I have coffee time. Well, because YouTube's changed their policy, and if you start talking about news and politics, I will disappear off of YouTube. You won't be able to find me because they'll put me under the adults only section. So I'm a bit loath to cover too much news and politics, I'm afraid. So yeah, I'm very careful what I talk about on the coffee time videos. Keep it light and frothy. Keep it light and frothy, because otherwise you end up hidden away, and I don't need that. Brendan there says, "Are you getting more popular?" No, I think I'm getting more unpopular actually, because people do love to tell me how much they hate me, which is nice. Is there more chance of someone putting uh, through my letterbox? I don't have a letterbox, so I have a hard fucking time, won't they? Do I have any relatives that fought in the Second World War? Yes, of course. My great grandfather fought in two world wars, first and second, and my grandfather was in the Second World War. Cyrus says, "Do you feel there are chances that your hometown will be attacked by terrorists?" No. Do I have any King Crimson blankets? No, I don't. Oh dear. Doug Williamson says, "I feel lost in the amount of knowledge everyone has about music. How do you remember this stuff?" I know stuff that I shouldn't know. I mean, if I watch old episodes of Top of the Pop, someone will come on and I'll say, "Oh, that was from such and such an album," and I don't know how I know it. It's freaky. I think it goes back to working in a record store, and so you tend to remember what records come from what albums and things. There's a little department in my brain, and so it frightens me sometimes. I shouldn't know that much about Howard Jones. That's not right. Oh dear. Charles Franklin says, "Vixen, Fast Pussycat or Beyond the Valley of the Dolls?" Up. That's all I'm going to say. Up. Um, Scaramondo says, "Isn't the new YouTube policy meant to be god awful?" Yes, it is. Because what they do is they hide people who produce. What they do is they categorise you on your content. So if you talk about like adult themes, like the news, they will put you so you cannot be so you can only be searched for people who are of a certain age. Shouldn't hurt my demographic because you're all over 50. I think that's why I say don't send me any nude pics because I don't want to see your shriveled old ball bags. But I don't particularly want to be cut off from the teenagers because you never know. Could get some teen pussy coming my way. Could happen. Where's my YouTube pussy? But no, I think it's a really bad idea to. It's not censorship. It's just kind of like hiding, and it's all to do with this bloody advertising thing because they're worried that the advertisers don't want to be put next to mature content, which is laughable because if you sit down every night and watch the news on a commercial channel, you'll suddenly see adverts appear, in between, stories about terrorism and cats being stuck up trees. So advertisers obviously do want to be advertising in between like current affairs programs. So why this isn't the same for YouTube, I don't. God only knows. So yeah, they've got this really weird policy that you can find yourself kind of hidden away from everyone if you talk about mature subjects. So, I'm trying to keep it just to the music and that. I mean, I want to do, if there's something that's in the news that I'm interested in, then I'll talk about it. But now I tend to think twice before I think about it. I tend to think twice because you just don't know what they're doing, and they don't tell you. This is another thing. You don't know until you disappear off of the search engine. You don't know, and so because they don't warn you. They don't warn you. So, do I have any? Did I have any CD Pink Floyd singles? Yes, I did. CD singles, yes, I did. Worst Roxy Music album, Flesh and Blood. I think we've done all that already. Liam Carty Howe. He's got a double-barreled name, so he must be really fucking posh. Just finished my A levels. You don't brag about that, son. Did they bend you over? I hope they used plenty of lube. What O-levels did you do? Oh, fuck me, that was a long time ago. Did CSEs as well back in the day. I did loads of stuff. I did maths, I did English, and I did chemistry and geography and biology and art and oh God, was that it? I think that might have been it for the O levels CSE stuff. For A levels, my first run was English literature, geography, and biology. Yeah, that's it. And then I had another pass, and I did an A level in English language in 6 months and got a pass, which I was pretty pleased at. So there you go. Just like getting to university because I was only ever good at English. See. How often do I get nice private messages from a viewer? Not as much as I get hate mail. George McKenna says, your increasing unpopularity is probably making you more popular overall. If it weren't for your controversy, honesty, I'd probably moved on a while ago. Well, thanks for that, George. No, I mean, people don't understand what reviews are. They tend to think that you've got to be positive and about everything. That's not what a review is. If they've ever read a movie review or an album review in a newspaper, they'll realise that reviewers, they try and, tell it like it is. And people don't like it on the internet, and they've got this idea that it's great to insult people, and that's fine. If you want to insult me, your comment gets deleted, and that's that. The thing is it's just a review. You don't have to watch it. You don't have to agree with it, but you could at least be polite. That's all I ask. Be polite, because if you're not polite, then I'll be rude back to you. And then people say, "Oh, but you're so rude to your viewers." I'm only rude to people when they're rude to me. If you're nice to me, I'm nice back, and you can go out there. There'll be people over on the Facebooks and the Twitters who ask for my help and ask for my advice, which I give. I give people my time because they're nice to me. But if you treat me like a cunt, I'm going to fuck you. It's the way it goes. Anyway, enough of that. Oh yeah, there you go. Get the 5 CD set of the Bonzo albums. Very good. That's a good one. To test, Michael. Is that your name, Michael? Oh. Am I a fan of video nasties? Everything was a video nasty back in the day. Everything was. Yeah, I guess I was. I was a fan of them before they were video nasties, because horror movies were well, they were just a big thing on VCR back in the day. We never had a VHS, but I used to go around a friend's house and we'd watch The Evil Dead and City of the Living Dead and that. Don't want to talk about it. I'm scarred, emotionally scarred. Craig Dolman over on the old Facebook asks, if I could have witnessed any event in history, what would it have been? Assassination of Kennedy. Just to make sure that there was just the one man. Wallace Pierce goes, what regiments? My granddad was a gunner in the RFA in World War One. I don't know that much about it, to be honest, because my great grandfather never talked about the war. So I have no idea. I've got pictures and stuff, and I've got his medals. I think I've got his medals. I hope my mum never lost them. Christ, I hope I've still got his medals. I think I have. Crikey. Oh, the missus is asleep. I'd have asked her. That was my great grandfather. My grandfather, he was a stoker on a boat thing. Again, I don't know which one it was. He was locked in the engine room. So if they ever got hit, he would have gone down with the ship. And he said it was bloody terrifying. Again, never used to talk about it. But I've got pictures of him. Of his ship when they captured a German U-boat. They're on my Facebook page somewhere. So, but I don't really know much about it. I never asked them because we never in our house we never really talked about it. Because like I say, my great aunt got bombed, and so where kids died, and again I only found out the details of that from my own research because it was a sore point. People who were in it didn't like to talk about it, and people that talk about it usually never were in it. So, that's the way it is. Who is Howard Jones? Indeed, who is Howard Jones? Roger Guitars and stuff says, I'm 15 years old. Well, you definitely can't send me pictures of your knackers, can you? Charlie Hilton, 16. Oh, God, I've got a load of fucking pubescent boys in. I can almost smell the spunk from here. Jesus Christ. 15? Oh, God, blimey. Do you believe we're seeing the downfall of YouTube? That's a good question, Cyrus. I think the bigger ones, I think some of the bigger ones, again, it's the mid-range. It's the mid-range people who are going to find it hard. Those people that are trying to make a career out of it, you know, are going to find it hard because the money pot is shrinking. Again, more people that sign up and do this will see the pot shrinking. I'm at the fag end of it, right? So I get whatever money it is per month. But then I do an awful lot of videos. I use it as a scattergun approach where I'm hoping that all my, I don't know how many thousand videos it is, all earn me a penny, you know. So, you know, so I hope it works that way. But I think it's harder for like the mid range and the top range because they're going to see their the money pot shrink, and so it might not necessarily be a viable. It should be. There should be a hobbyist thing anyway. You know, it should be a hobbyist thing where, you know. I mean, I just want a sniff of PewDiePie's fumes so I can pay the mortgage off. That's all I want, you know. But yeah, I think it will be tough in the future for some of these mid-level, mid-tier people. So, very good question. Very good question. How would I fix YouTube? Oh, controversial. How would I fix YouTube? Demonetize it so that you can't make any money out of it? But then I'd have to stop. But you'd see it go back to how it was. It'd be about people, you know, making videos about their cats, you know, and stuff like that. It's supposed to be a hobbyist thing. YouTube, that was the whole point of it. It was about, you know, people making the videos. And it's got less about that now. It's got more about, you know, shocking people and, you know, clickbaiting and stuff like that. There's no actual. If you look at the top tier people, their content is. It's not. I don't think it's particularly good, you know. But then also there's this expectation from other viewers that your content should be almost TV quality. Whereas, you know, I'm like I say, I'm at the fag end of it, and I like the more homespun style, you know, where people talk and are human and they don't edit the gaps out of what they're saying. You know, the YouTube edit, you know, the jump cut. You know, I like to hear people talk and I like to hear people tell stories, and you know, but hey, who knows? Who knows what will happen? Who knows? Facebook could jump in and become. See, I'm surprised that Facebook hasn't jumped in on the game and, you know, rolled out their monetization platform, because I reckon a lot of people would jump from YouTube onto Facebook, and that'd be quite interesting because, you know, they've already got an audience on there waiting for them. Why do I get hate mail? Because I'm an absolute cunt. That's why. Everybody knows that. Well, again, that's the whole point. It's supposed to be fun to run retro bow. The whole point is meant to be a laugh, and you're not meant to take it too seriously. And when I do the rant and rave stuff, you know, it's like a wink, you know, come on. When I call you a bunch of idiots, you know, for liking Rush, you're meant to, you know, laugh at me for being preposterous. It's all, you know, it's all an affectation. I don't. If you like Rush, that's fine. That's great. Just don't make me listen to it, you know. I like them when they do their live stuff. They're quite a good live band. I'll give them that. No, George, you weren't being negative. No, that's not. That's it. I don't know. Look, I say things that people don't want to hear. You know, artists don't like me because, you know, I go back to that old review style that used to get in the NME back in the old days when, you know, papers didn't need the music industry. They just printed what they wanted because they had print ads to support them. And nowadays, you know, the media and the music industry have merged into one. One hand washes the other, if you know what I mean. One pays one, the other one says nice things about the other. Whereas I sit here and go, wait a minute, this album's a load of old crap. And then the artist gets upset about it, you know, and that's the way it goes, you know. You know, because nobody wants to read a bad review. But I counter this: there's no such thing as a bad review, because if I say something about insert artist here and I say this album is a pile of dog shit, you guys are probably going to go and check it out anyway, see if I'm right or wrong. So I don't believe there's anything anything bad in doing in a negative review or whatnot. I think again you guys will go and check it out because you're smart and you've got brains and you think, hey, he could be wrong. Let's laugh at the fat bearded man because he is wrong, and it gives you the opportunity to prove to me that I'm wrong. Yeah, but I'm not wrong because every opinion is valid. Uh, Keith Barlow says, your reviews have cost me a fortune. I blame you to Mrs. It doesn't work. Well, look, I'm sorry about that, Keith. It's all my fault. It's all my fault. Yeah, I'm sorry. What you could do is just go on YouTube, because they've got all this stuff. People have uploaded it all on YouTube. I'm sure you could just, never buy another record again. But you don't want to do that. Munton says everyone just gets offended and doesn't think. Well, again, offence can't be given; it can only be taken. And people can be very protective about their favourite band or favourite album, like their football team. Men are like this; they get very protective over the things that they love, except they're women usually. And so they can, he called my Pepper Pot a faggot, and everyone gets a bit leery. When it's just meant to be entertainment. It's just a review. You don't have to watch them. I don't come round and sit you down and force you to watch the shit I put out. So it's quite funny when these people get irate at you and they want to prove you right. Like this guy who wrote a fucking essay about how amazing Trout Mask Replica was. He wrote this amazing, great big diatribe essay, and I just went delete, because you've got to be kind of deranged. He was like, he wants me to read that, and he's insulting me. No, delete, because that's how it goes. Oh, somebody made a noise over there. Oh, everyone's asleep. The girls are asleep. Roger likes all the modelling stuff. I mean, when I mean modelling, I don't mean me in a bikini. Get that image out of your mind, you filthy beasts. He likes guitar modelling, and so that's why he's here. Did I ever get a blue vinyl single of Bowie's Blue Jean, says Tom. No, I didn't. I'm not really collecting those. Even though you don't have a VHS player, I did, and I did. I did and I did. There you go. I had all that stuff. It's digitised on the hard drive, sir. Who would you most like to go out for a beer with? My dear old dad. But I don't think he'd do it because he hasn't got any balls. There you go. That's one for the pot, isn't it? Got a little bit personal there. Got a little bit personal. If I could go back in time to watch one gig, what would it be? It'd have to be a Genesis Lamb gig, because I would like to see that working. Have I ever played a church pipe organ? No. Dear. Where are we? I've gone and lost the bloody questions again. Wolfcrat says, it's like a bleeding kindergarten in here. Bless them. It is, isn't it? It isn't. There isn't a pube amongst them. There's not a pube to be found. Oh, dear. Thoughts on some of the high up YouTubers right now. I don't really follow. I mean, I don't really follow the big guys. I don't really care, because a lot of the content doesn't really apply to me. I watch old Philip DeFranco because I've been watching him for years because he's got a good shtick. But again, even him, you know, he's supposedly a millionaire, yet, you know, he's raising money to do a new channel, you know, crowdfunding it. I always have an issue with people with money who need to crowdfund. You know, I'm not saying it's necessarily, you can, is it a good, I don't know, is it morally right? If I had lots of money, I wouldn't, there'd be no adverts on my YouTube channel and there wouldn't be a Patreon, you know. But I don't. But no, I mean, I guess, you know, I don't know. I'm trying to think what I think about top YouTubers. I think again, it's hard. I mean, when you got somebody like PewDiePie who's got, was it, 55 million subs, I'd be interested to see how that translates. I'm more interested in what's happened with the adverts and how much money he's not making from when he, but from before when he wasn't a Nazi, if you know what I mean. I'd like to know how that plane crashed, because the inner workings of YouTube are a mystery. You know, you can't guarantee from month to month how much money you're going to pull in. Again, it's like the videos. You do a video you think it's going to be really good and nobody watches it, or you do something that's a bit shit and everybody watches it. You know, it is not an exact science. It's mysterious. It's like, you know, you have to cut open a goat and examine its entrails before you've got any idea of, you know, how much money you're going to get, you know, of the week. So, you know, YouTube is a weird place. It's a weird place, and there's no guarantee. I mean, I just do what I do. I don't particularly take much pride in what I do because I just knock it out because it's meant to be rough and ready, you know, round the edges. But it's meant to serve a purpose. It's meant to, was it, educate, inform, and entertain. That's it. That sounds about right. You know, it's meant to scratch those itches, and, you know, though I do have people say to me, "Your reviews are shit. Why'd you do it? Why don't you go and kill yourself?" Which is very nice. You know, why do you make these? Why do you make these reviews? They're not very in depth, are they? It's like, well, if you want in depth, if you want musical analysis, then you have to go and reach for your checkbook. You see, because this is light and frothy. You know, this is what it is. It's something for you to enjoy on the tube, or like I say, on a coffee break or whatnot. You know, it's not meant to be held up in high esteem. It's just, you know, here, there, gone today, gone tomorrow. You know, that kind of material. So you get some really strange, and then none of them ever make videos, but they're first to point and tell you how shit you are. and then I end up just moaning about people telling me how shit I am. Let's get off this topic. Dear, but I don't know. Have I ever met any of my fans? Yeah, I have. Yeah, Mr. Oh, what's his name? Oh, I've forgotten his name now. Oh, Mr. Pickles. I met Mr. Pickles at the King Crimson gig. But I couldn't. I shook his hand, but I didn't have a chance to talk to him because I met somebody else that I knew from a King Crimson forum I used to preside over. So yeah, I've met a fan. I don't know if he was a fan. I don't know if he's a fan. Sometimes he comes in. He does come into the chat room sometimes. So yeah. The beard looks great. Yeah, I'm going for the tramp look. You know, people stop at the crossing now. I hunch over a bit and I try and look as old as possible. So yeah, there you go. George McKenna goes, "I used to hate your reviews," but then you've helped me to learn to accept contrasting opinions more than anything. Well, that's good, George. I mean, the thing is, right, is I don't watch many music. I don't watch any music reviews on here, but I watch movie reviews. I'm a big fan of movie reviews and things like that. And so, if somebody, you know, Evening Joe, it's on Facebook. If somebody does a review of a film I think's good, or, you know, you just go, you got to take somebody else's perspective on board and just listen to them, even if they are a little bit, you know, up their own arse sort of thing. You should always listen, because it might give you an extra insight into that album or the film or whatnot, and you might just see something that you've missed. So it's always an interesting thing to take on board. Reason I don't listen to other music reviews, because they're all shit and they bore me, and they're so fucking earnest and boring, you know. Whereas I'm the best, and you guys know that. You know I'm the best. Dear. ELP released the Bells and Whistles remastered edition. They have done. They have done some. No, I'm not buying it, and no, I'm not reviewing it. And I've never reviewed Love Beach. It's never happened. Led Zeppelin Freaks in. Hey. Trevor says, I love Pink Floyd, but I find your criticism hilarious. Especially those triangles. Did you see those fucking triangles? There were triangles everywhere. No such thing as bad press. Absolutely, Keith Barlow. Absolutely. People need to chill out and respect opinions, Russell Watkins says. Well, it's not, everyone has an opinion. Everyone, what we've got is we've got into very reactionary times, and I blame social media for this. Because back in the old days, you'd be in the pub, and you go, oh, you heard that album by so-and-so, and the guy going, oh, yeah, I have. Oh, I wanted a load of crap. Oh, no, I thought this track was good. No, that's a load of... And you chew the fat, right? But nobody starts swinging punches and calling themselves, calling each other names over it. You just have, a spirited debate over the merits of a movie or an album or whatnot. But thanks to social media has allowed people to insult each other at will behind a veil of anonymity, and I personally think that's just, it's very immature and stupid. I think, again, everyone who goes online should go online with their real name and their real face, and they'd soon start behaving themselves. That's how it should be. Joe Morgan says, I've just been watching episode 8 of Twin Peaks. No, don't tell me. Don't, because I haven't watched it. I don't know. I don't care. I don't want to know. Don't want to know. How are the kids? Asked Tom's Vinyl Shack. I've still been following me home from school. I've tried giving them a slip, but they're doing all right. Doing all right. Nothing to report. Doing well at school and that. Herb's finishing his infants, and he's going to be moving to juniors in September, so that's a big thing for him. But yeah, no, they're ticking along. Any post-rock bands that like Tortoise? Try Brokeback, because they've come out of Tortoise. Brokeback, try them. Yeah. Have I ever owned a Martin guitar? Do I look like I've ever owned a Martin guitar? No. How much vinyl do I have? I think I've got about 4 albums. That's about it. Sea and the Cake, yeah. That's a good recommendation. Trans Am, if you like kind of scuzzy kind of stuff. What was the last thing I sold? I've sold a lot at the weekend, but the actual last item, okay, you're very specific there. Let me just pull it up. What was the last item that sold? Very specific question. I like that. The last item that sold was the Yes Prodigy box set, 7 shows from 72. There you go. That was the last thing that sold at the weekend. Thank you. Thank you, Cyrus. That's very, very kind of you to say so. 2000cc Pain says, do you think your channel will be more popular if you could do King Crimson? I can do King Crimson. I choose not to. And I couldn't give a fuck. I'm not doing King Crimson. And it doesn't mean a whole heal of beans. Do you know what?